you're a buyer buying a house in today's real estate market, how do you know if your agent is colluding with the listing agent to get paid a higher buyer broker fee? Hi, I'm Melody Moser. I'm the broker here at NextHome Navigator in Salt Lake City. And I just wanted to take a few minutes and explain to you a couple of things. Now, I have been having a lot of conversations about these changes that are in our market since the NAR settlement on August 17th, 2024. And I just wanted to take some time and explain some of these things to you. So if you have any questions about the new way of doing things, please drop the questions in the description. We are going to be answering them in this series to make sure that you as a buyer or a seller are armed with all of the information to make the right decision for you and your family moving forward. Okay, so let's get to it. First of all, if you don't know what the NAR settlement is or what it means, I'm going to include a link up here to another video where we go more in depth about what that settlement is and what it means to the real estate agents and to the industry. Okay, so the other thing is that it's in the link up there. It's also going to be in the description down below. So you have two different places to look for it. The next thing is, and I'm sorry, I'm a broker. And so sometimes I talk to you as, like I give you different things to do and different sources to go to. So forgive me. Okay, so the next thing that I want to share with you is the NAR frequently asked questions about the settlement. You can find this, that I'm going to drop another link in the description below, and this is NAR's settlement frequently asked questions. Number 49, it says, and I'm going to put this up on the screen. Yeah. Okay, so number 49, and I'm going to put that up on the screen. What is NAR's policy on steering buyers based on the amount of broker compensation? So in order for us to determine if a buyer agent is colluding with the listing agent, we need to know a few things. So first of all, under NAR's Code of Ethics, steering buyers based on the amount of broker compensation is prohibitive. So, under the Code of Ethics, agents cannot steer you to a property based on the amount of compensation they're getting. Okay, so the second thing is that realtors must pledge themselves to protect and promote the interests of their client, putting their client's best interests before their own. A realtor must never put broker compensation before their client's interests. Realtors must be honest and truthful in their real estate communications and must not exaggerate, misrepresent, or conceal pertinent facts relating to the transaction, including facts about the broker commissions. If a realtor does anything to put their own or another broker's compensation before her client's interests, they are violating this primary code of ethics and potentially violating the broker's fiduciary duties to their client, depending on the broker and buyer relationship and state law. Okay, so let's dissect that just a little bit. First of all, it is against the Realtor Code of Ethics that we all adhere to steer the buyers based on the broker commission. So here's what I'm seeing happening, and I'm seeing this on social media. I'm seeing it, I've been inundated with emails from agents that I've never had a transaction with. I see it on websites. I see it on, on Facebook, Instagram, groups, like individually, like it's just everywhere as a real estate agent. And what I'm talking about is, hey, I'm offering you a 3% broker commission, buyer broker commission. what's the big deal about that? When they're saying that they being the real estate agent, are offering a buyer broker commission, that's basically what we call a broker to broker compensation agreement. Okay, so we actually have those approved by our state, broker to broker compensation. But what that means is that, okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. I've got I'm an agent and I have a buyer and we're going to work together. They've said verbally that they're going to work with me. And yet we don't have that buyer broker agreement signed yet. But I know what they're looking for. So I'm going to hurry and I'm going to go through and I'm going to call all of those houses, all of the listing agents, because it's no longer on the MLS anywhere that we can see the buyer broker compensation. So I'm going to call all of those listing agents and I'm going to say this, and I know what they say because they've said it to me over and over again on my listings. They're going to say, hey, what are you offering for the buyer broker commission? Where is the buyer in that conversation? So let's say that you have 5 different houses that you have made that phone call on as the agent, and you have 3 of them that say, yeah, we'll pay you X percent. Yeah, we'll pay you X percent. Yeah, we'll pay you lower percent. Yeah, the seller has asked us to have you put it in the real estate purchase contract. The seller is not going to, the number 5 says the same thing. The seller has asked that we negotiate it buyer to seller. So please put it in the purchase contract. So we've got 3 of them that have different forms of compensation. And you're the agent that sees all of these compensations because you've made the phone calls. You think you're doing the right thing because you want to make sure that it's included in the transaction. And you take them to the one with the highest percent. And then you work your way down until there's one that has, wait, we're going to offer it, but we just want to talk out front with transparency in the purchase contract. That's steering, you guys. That's steering. When your buyer agent makes those phone calls ahead of time, rather than just putting the compensation in the purchase contract, which, by the way, in paragraph 4, point 3 E, if you look at your new purchase agreement, 4.3 E, there is a place for you as the buyer to add what compensation that you would like to have the seller pay for, or contribute to, I guess is the right word, because really that buyer broker compensation is a concession, because it is not, the seller's value doesn't go up because they're paying a commission. It's basically your seller has to look at the net, and part of the expenses of selling a home in today's market are you as a buyer can ask for concessions, like for your buy downs, for closing costs, for carpet, for paint, for a new roof. Like you can ask, include one of those concessions could be your buyer agent fee that you've agreed to pay your buyer agent. Okay, so how are you going to know if they're colluding? You are going to know if they're colluding if they're not putting it in the purchase contract. You're going to know that your real estate agent is colluding behind your back in a room that you're not a part of, negotiating fees without you. Now, how does that save you money? Like, that does not make sense. The whole reason that we have the NAR settlement in place is to help buyers and sellers with transparency with the broker commissions. It's to decouple those commissions, to have the seller negotiate their side of the commissions, and the buyer to do the same thing. You have an opportunity as a buyer in front of you right now to go out, to interview, to find and negotiate your broker fee as a buyer. Isn't that beautiful? Like, so what if you already know the house of your dreams and you want to write an offer on it, you can now go to broker agents, buyers agents, and find one that will do the work because you've done some of it on your own, and they'll do the rest of the work for maybe less money. Or maybe you want a Ritz-Carlton experience where, if you get in a limo and they take you to houses, I don't know, maybe they buy you lunch. A Ritz-Carlton experience. Think about, just that 5-star customer service. You're going to pay more for that one than you are for just maybe hey, I found one on an open house and I want you to write an offer and represent me. That sounds fair, right? I think that sounds fair. I think that this is why the NAR settlement is good. Agents hate what I'm saying, you guys. Agents do not want me to tell you that they are still colluding if they do broker-to-broker compensation. I have a lot of hate mail right now, and I think that in a year, those agents who are sending me hate mail are going to say, thank you, Melody, for standing up, telling us and the world a better way to do it. And the better way to do it is to keep it transparent and keep it in the purchase contract so that commission or that concession is between the buyer and the seller and not behind their back colluding. Now, if you found any value in this conversation, please subscribe, because we're going to continue to have some conversations. Rod and I are running into a lot of questions from our agents, and we're going to answer our agent questions, and then we're going to bring those questions to you and share with you as the buyer and the seller what those answers are. And I believe that you're going to find a lot of value in this channel. So thank you very much for joining us.